Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and Happy New Year. I hope you're doing super fantastic. Today, as of recording this, it is January 1, 2025. Now, it depends who you ask, because like a lot of people in numerology will tell you that the new year does not begin until March 1. And the reason for that is at some point in history, 2 months were added to the year. And the months that were added were January and February. They should have been added to the end of the month. The end of the year is the argument. And then they've got a little basis in it. For example, September in Latin, septe is 7, not 9. And October is 8, not 10. And November is 9, not 11. And December is 10, not 12. And that's the argument for it. So a lot of people in numerology will argue that the true beginning of the year is March 1, because January and February should be the 11th and 12th months, not 1st and 2nd. And I'm like, okay, I get that, because I am sort of a student of numerology. It's something that I'm extremely interested in. But it's something that I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about it or not. I don't know. Because I'm like, do I know enough? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I am going to talk about some things that I am familiar with. So we're going to just go with it is beginning of the year, because on our calendars, on our phones, on everything, it says that it is 2025 now. So there we go. Now, by the way, I almost forgot. Please, loved one, take 1 second and like this video. Also, if you would, maybe put something in the comments. Let me know what you think. I mean, of the I really do. I mean, honestly, I would like to know what your thoughts are on that whole true calendar business. You know, the 2 months that are added, should they have been added, as 11 and 12 or whatever, just what your thoughts are that. Or do you think it doesn't even matter? It's like, whatever, it's just observed, kind of like Christmas. It's like, do we really know when Christmas is, or is it just that's the day that we choose to observe it? So anyway, there's that. But yeah, like this video, please give me a comment. And if you have not yet, subscribe to the channel. So greatly appreciate it if you would do that to help the algorithm out and all that. Maybe help me grow the channel. That would be fantastic. So anyway, when it comes to numerology, I'm very interested in it. I've done a lot of research on it and everything, and I probably am qualified, I guess. But whatever, we're gonna let that part go. Here's what I do know. 2025, if you do the numerology, if you break it down to its base number, it's 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. So that means it is a 9-year. Now, a 9-year for the collective, or for whoever chooses to observe this. I guess it applies to everyone, but we are awakened ones. We are aware of of reality and the things that are going on. So we actually put this into practice. And I'm not saying that to be snooty or whatever. So just some people are asleep to these things, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Anyway, so with it being a 9-year is typically, it is said to be a spiritual year. Well, it is a spiritual number, so therefore that. But it is a year of growth and transformation and things like, but it goes a little deeper than that, in that it's a year of letting go. Okay, kind of saying our goodbyes or finishing projects. And that doesn't have to be a physical project. It doesn't have to be anything that we are physically doing. Although pretty much everything that we do does have a component of physicality to it, because we do live in a physical universe, or as a physical realm, I guess I should say. But anyway, so it is a year of transformation and of growth and of letting go. And those are all very, very spiritual things. But what should we be letting go of? Well, for one, I mean, we already know we should be letting go of attachments. Like if we are trying to manifest certain things, first of all, the word trying doesn't fit. You either are or you aren't. So there, I just messed up myself, right? But that's okay. But if we are manifesting certain things, we have to learn to let go of attachments. We can't attach conditions to it. We can't attach anything to it. It's like, look, I am manifesting experiences of growth and of, fill in your blanks. But when it comes to like the 2025 and the 9-year number, when I'm talking about letting go, I mean, there are some things that we have, some attachments or whatever that we've got to let go of. There's some practices, maybe some habits, some things that we're doing that are really just kind of holding us back. And it may be something that you started in a very positive way. It could be something that you started for the purpose of your spiritual growth, for the purpose of maturing or whatever. But it's just not doing what you expected. And maybe that's because you have too many attachments involved. That's fine, whatever. But right now, I think it's a very important time for us to look at the things, the habits that we have, the processes that we have, the routines that we have, and think, okay, what am I just kind of dragging with me? What am I just dragging along? What am I doing every day that it started out for good reason? It started out in the right place, but it's just not working. It's just not doing it. Right? And sometimes it could be a habit. It could be hard to let go of because it's a habit. It's something we've just gotten in the habit of doing. Or it could also be hard to let go of because it's something that we're just too damn proud to let go. We just don't want to have to admit this didn't work or this wasn't for me or whatever. But pride could have a lot to do with that. Right? Pride could, because we don't want to admit that we screwed up. Or we don't want to admit that, maybe my feelings have changed. Or maybe that's not, this thing that I've been working on is not compatible with my greater picture. Right? It's like if you have a goal of being very healthy, and I mean like really, really super healthy, but you've got some habits that are, or you've got some things that you do that aren't really doing that. You don't want to have to admit, well, I need to let that go. Or because like we've all got things that we're like, well, yeah, I might do this, but I make up for it by doing that. It's like, well, that's cool. But what if you stopped doing this and you kept doing that? How much better would you be? Okay, fine. I don't know. I'm just encouraging you to look at some of the things that you do throughout the day that you might be able to cut loose of. And then there's also with the growth side of it. It's like I would highly recommend anybody who does not have a meditation practice to develop one. And listen, that's something that I guess it would be like a New Year's resolution. I've got to get back in a habit of daily meditation. And it doesn't have to be some big thing. When we hear the word meditation, some people think of like the monk in the robe sitting up on the mountain, just, stoically and whatever. No, meditation doesn't have to be some big, profound experience. You are going to have those big, profound experiences in a meditation. Yes, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen right away, but it is going to happen. But I mean, just daily, excuse me, I'm getting a thing going on here. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, so, geez. So it doesn't have to be some big, profound, lights coming down from heaven and, whatever. No, it can be just slow down, bring your awareness right here, center it right here, right now, in this moment, and just focus on it. And it's so, it's kind of cliche, and it sounds so simplistic just to focus on your breath, but it is such a, it's so profound in that it brings you into now. It reminds you that there is only now, and this is right now. So you really feel the texture of the breath coming in and filling up your lungs. And then I recommend hold your breath, because like one thing I learned I'm, is that when we hold our breath is when our heart and our brain kind of come into a coherence. Okay, your vibrational patterns throughout your body, and hence what broadcasts into the field, come into a geez, it's a coherence. It's heart brain coherence. So when you hold your breath, that's why I usually tell people hold, with the box breathing, you bring your breath in for a count of 4, you hold it for a count of 4, but really you should probably do longer than that if you're doing the coherence part, but whatever. So bring in a good deep breath, fill up your lungs fully, and hold it. And really, I say kind of hold it as long as you can. And then exhale fully. I mean, to where you're like, there's really nothing left in there to get out. And hold that as long as you can. And then fill it back up. And once you do that, because for one, physically, what that does for you is that clears out all the old air in your lungs. Because if you think about it, you're like, okay, I breathe. Like right now I'm breathing, but I'm not fully exhaling and I'm not fully inhaling. So there is air in my lungs that just kind of sits there. So when we completely flush all that out and bring in new, for one, it expands your lung capacity. It kind of makes everything just start working. But it also gets all that old, stale air out. That's good for you. I mean, I don't have to explain that. I mean, it's pretty easy to figure out, right? So 2025, yes, dear loved ones, it is the year of growth and of transformation and completion. That's the other word. That word is very good. It's finishing up the projects, finishing up some things that you have been working on. Like if you're working on quitting smoking, or if you're working on anything, finish that up. Get it done. Put that to bed and move on. If you're working on painting your house, just as a project, I mean, I just thought of randomly. Get that done. Finish it. Be done with that. Put it to bed and move on. Because it's time. It's time to move on. It's time to start some new practices, right? And it's not only because it's a new year. It's because of what year it is. It's a 9-year. So I recommend them developing a meditation practice. Absolutely. And just whatever the case may be. In fact, if you would, take a second, put in the comments, this is what I need to finish this year. I need to be done with it, put it to bed so I can move on, and this is what I'm going to start. Right? I mean, I've got to get back to daily meditation, personally. I absolutely do. I need to get back into taking better care of my health. I haven't been, holidays have been kind of hard on old Maddie. Let's just put it that way. It's been fun, but it's time to change it up. But a big thing I always recommend, and a lot of people say, is to break patterns. Because if you do the exact same thing every single day, then nothing changes. And reality, or the construct that this realm that kind of puts together for you all of your realities, all of the things that happen, just keeps putting the same things in front of you over and over. It's like, well, yeah, but I'm ready for change. I'm ready for transformation. I need some new things happening in my life, right? That's when we break pattern. What that means is, and it's something as simple as, if you can drive a different way to work, do it. If you can go left instead of right, then do it. Do something different. Throw reality a curveball. Do things differently. I mean, some people have even recommended, like, brush your teeth with if you're left-handed, brush your teeth with your right hand. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's I'd probably stab myself in the throat or something with that. So that one, maybe not. But, just do some things differently. And if you if you really can't, just take off and go, like, if you like, the next city from here is about 45 minutes, and they've got a lot of really cool stuff there. Something that would be a great pattern break for me would be to just one of my days off, jump in the car, just for out of the blue, for no reason, just drive up there and go to lunch or something. Do something different that is out of your routine, out of your ordinary, completely something you wouldn't normally do. And just watch how, and what that does is that gets your reality's attention. That gets the construct to stop and, like, whoa, hang on, we got one acting up here. We got one doing something weird here. What is this? What hang on, what's going on? What do you want? Why are you doing things differently all of a sudden? Right? And when you draw that attention to yourself, and you are broadcasting your intentions, you're broadcasting your affirmations or whatever they may be, you're broadcasting your I ams into the field. Now all of a sudden you've got its attention because you're doing something weird. It's like, whoa, it's out of its routine. What is it? Oh, it's manifesting. It's manifesting this. Okay. Well, all right, let's go ahead. It's like, it's a completely neutral field. It doesn't have any preferences. It's like, yeah, that's what you want. Okay, fine. Just get back in line. Stop doing this weird stuff. Because I know I've got too many people to keep track of, to be having you over here doing weird stuff. But you're going to keep doing weird stuff, right? Got to keep breaking pattern. Because every time you do, it gets the field's attention. And when you get the field's attention, that's when you're like, oh, by the way, I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting that. And it will be brought into your field, brought into your reality. And yes, that's how things work. And another thing is, like, if you are looking for opportunities, like if you need to start, if you're going to starting a business or whatever the case may be, maybe you are wanting to, maybe you're looking into being invest in real estate, flipping houses, or whatever the case may be, whatever. When you break pattern, you will see different people. You'll see different things. Have you ever noticed, like, okay, on my route to work, or my ride to work, I pass this car every day, and I call it the UFO because it's got these lights, like, that go all the way across the whole front of it, right? I think it's a Hyundai or something, but it's got the lights that go all the way across the front of the hood, right? Or right where between the hood and the grill or whatever. So I call it the UFO. Okay. And I see that car every day. I know that person's pattern. I know that person's behavior. Now, if they were to stop going that route, they would then not run across me anymore, but they may run across someone else who is able to put them on the path that they are, whatever that person is manifesting in their life. So it'd be good for them to break pattern. But then it's like, hey, Matt, it'd be good for you to break pattern and drive a different way to work, wouldn't it? Yes, you're correct. So those are the things, but I'm not gonna alert the field to that's what I'm about to do. I'm just gonna do it randomly. So there's that. So anyway, loved ones, 2025, growth, transformation, letting go. What was the other one? Completion. Yes. So yes, really kind of think about that. It's a 9-year. That's a good thing. That means it's our year for spiritual. We're going to expand consciousness. Amazing. Yeah. Anyway, loved ones, please like, share, subscribe. I do love you. Oh, that's all I got. That's all I got. I do love you, and I'll be back directly.